first have to understand the space that you're going into, and understanding the mission statement of the gallery is very, very important. If you like to do large installations, for instance, you'll want to make sure that the gallery is vast enough for you to get that initial experience when someone walks up and says, "Holy crap, look at this." You know, that's the type of experience that you constantly want with your artwork. You want somebody dragging their pal over and saying, you know, "What do you think about that here?" I guess in terms of portfolios, at least in the film and television business, we're looking at two different things. One is if you understand what the concept is and how you convert that concept into artwork. So your artwork, whatever portfolio piece that you're showing, should show a little bit of fear, a lot of confidence, and a little bit of ingenuity, whatever that may be. I like that. Passion and failure. That's what this is about. You know, everybody's so afraid of getting a low mark, or, you know, someone's not going to like something and whatever. Screw it. Fail. Fail often. The person that makes the same mistake all the time is the one who fails. The person that makes a different mistake all the time is the one who's growing and learning. So I love that. I love the ability just to say, you know, I'm going to throw this up, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. The passion bit, I think you're right for sure. You got to have the passion. You have to have an understanding of what that passion is. So 20 years ago, I started out as an artist. Now I'm a business person. Why am I a business person? Is because, as you found out, sometimes you got to sell your soul to get something that you need in order to move people along. So I learned 15 years ago when I started producing is that maybe I don't have the ability to be the artistic lead anymore, but I have the ability to make sure everybody's employed. And that's my passion, is to make sure that the team is always going, that the money's on the table, people are getting fed.
In my opinion, what really got me over that fear is just being inspired. Like I said, I left an environment where I was always taught, an environment where I had to teach myself, and I kind of had nothing to push me. What really pushed me was just looking outside of the world and looking within my industry as well to see what other professionals are doing and just be inspired, because that was the fuel that helped me overcome that issue. And so just keep your minds open and just stay inspired. That's about it. My opinion. There's two essential ingredients. There's a long-term ingredient and there's a short-term ingredient. I'll go with the long ingredient first, and that's love. Love for what you do. If you love what you do, you're going to keep on going with it because it makes you happy. And there's room for error. And eventually, if you love what you do, you're just going to keep on doing it. So eventually, it may not be now, it may not be 10 years from now. You're going to nail it eventually, just because you love what you do. And in the short term, like I said, just be inspired. Sometimes you'll work on something and be like, oh, this is just too much. And when things seem to put you down, just look outside and just simply be inspired. Open your minds. And using those two ingredients, integrating them and collaborating with them both, you'll kick out something innovative. And that's something I strongly believe.
I think it's just being a part of a community and recognizing, you know, where you fit into a community and which community that is, and then just engaging in it. I know we're all guilty of maybe not going to as many openings or exhibitions or shows or checking out as many exhibits as we should. But making sure that you involve yourself in those things is what's going to help you stay up to date on what's happening, and you can't know what's happening if you're not participating actively in the environment that you're trying to help shape. And then there are a lot of publications too, be they online or, you know, print publications, and staying up to date with those kinds of things really helps as far as like the theory goes, and also because, you know, we are in a really interconnected world. So while the arts scene in Toronto is happening, you know, there are massive movements happening in cities all over the world, and while you can't necessarily be a part of them directly, following them I think is just as important. important in your future. So when you meet people and make sure that you can kind of express, you know, who you are and where you're coming from and what your base of operations is, and you know, it's just that's networking. It's just meeting people and being nice and making some kind of an impression, saying, my name's Erin, I have this space, and let me know if you ever need it, kind of thing. It's as easy and as complicated as that, I think.
You know, don't stick with the box.